Clay could be half dead and he'd say we'll see. He pulled his hamstring. He thinks it's minor. So I don't know what that means going forward. And Loon, something with his shoulder, and so we'll see. Sorry, that's all I got.
Given all those things in play, what were the keys you thought of the team ultimately prevailing over this?
Well, I said yesterday and today that 109 points is plenty to win the game, which is what we had in game one, but we gave up 118. So it was all about our defense, and we held them to 37% and, forced 15 turnovers and guarded the three-point line well. So it was championship defense, and that's what it's going to take.
Nick, back left, standing.
Steve, Nick Friedel, ESPN. Back. How would you put into context the performance DeMarcus gave you, given the fact that he's missed 6 weeks and he tore his quad?
I thought he was great. I mean, we came in thinking, all right, he can, maybe play 20 minutes, and he gave us almost 28. There was only one time in the game when he needed a rest, which was mid-fourth, and we gave him a couple minutes and then got him back in the game. But he was fantastic, and we needed everything he gave out there: his rebounding, his toughness, his physical presence, getting the ball in the paint, and just playing big like he does. We needed all of that, so I thought he was fantastic.
Phil.
Hey, Steve.
Obviously, repeating is difficult. You try to go 3 in a row, and you're going to need health on your side, and you see that currently it's a bit of walking wounded. DeMarcus Cousins comes back, plays as well as he does. Andre Iguodala dealing with the calf issues. He delivers the ultimate knockout blow. Kevon Looney wasn't able to go in this one because of the chest contusion, and then Klay Thompson obviously out with that hamstring that Coach Kerr was just talking. Provided a cushion that was too great for the Raptors to overcome. After very nearly losing the ball, Livingston finds Iguodala, and a former Finals MVP looked at it, thought about it for a split second, like, I'll pull this. All of y'all, hold this L. Take it with you. Big shot from Iguodala. And that helps Steve Kerr vault up this list. As a player and a coach, the man's been involved in the finals 10 times. It's almost embarrassing. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Look at that company. He's now up to 76 victories. We welcome in Paul Pierce. And Paul, Doris was just talking about the fragile nature of the guys on the court and who is able to go and who's not. I want to ask you about a Raptors team that was cooking with gas, man. They take out Milwaukee 4 straight. They went on their home floor in this one. They're up double digits in the second, and now it's the series is tied. How fragile is confidence when you're new to this and the champs respond as they did?
I think their confidence is fractured. I mean, I think it started there in the second quarter when they had a chance to really expand on the lead. Golden State pulled it within 5. Then they came out in the third quarter, went on this 18-0 run, and that really put a dent in their confidence. When you waste a game like this, that Kawhi Leonard goes off for 34 points, 14 rebounds, you lose this game. Now you got to go on the road in Golden State where they're as tough as anybody in the NBA. They know that it's an uphill battle from here on out.
Paul, help me understand. I mean, look, you played at a star level in this league, but when you've got guys like, say, a Cook on your team, and you're a role player means you play your role. Be great in your role, right? That's the old saying.
Yes.
How do you create a culture where a guy knows his role, but then when that role changes, he's able to elevate his game to a different type of role?
Well, everybody wants more. When you win, Cook was on the championship last year team, and everybody wants more. But he has an understanding of this is what they need from me right now for us to win. And then now when guys go down, he says, okay, I'm going to get more of an opportunity. I've been waiting on this opportunity for a long time. And he steps into that expanded role, and he steps up a role that he's been wanting probably all year long. But, patience is virtue. He stepped right into that role and knocked down some key shots. I mean, he made a huge impact on tonight's game, and, you know, that's what championship teams are all about.
Agreed. Now, Golden State's been able to figure out how to survive without Durant for the stretch that they have, including that end of Game 5 against Houston and then Game 6 on the road. They were able to get through Portland, and so far here they are with a split. But if Klay's hamstring's not right and you got to go without him and you got to go without KD, at some point, man, 48 minutes is a long time without those guys. Can you win a game without those guys, even at home?
You know what? After tonight, I'm not putting anything past the Golden State Warriors.
Understood.
I mean, they have the championship DNA. I feel like whoever they put out there, they can get it done. You know, you have the two-time MVP in Curry. You have Finals MVP in Iguodala. Cousins is starting to come around. So I wouldn't put it past them. If Klay doesn't play or KD doesn't play, Golden State is still a great team.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't just get, as a guy who's been through it, you try to play hurt, you try to come back from injuries. Boogie Cousins, I'm amazed that he's able to give them that. What did you make of his performance tonight, Paul?
It was extraordinary, to tell you the truth, because I didn't expect him to give much in this series after coming off 2 injuries in this season.
Right.
For him to have an impact, and this kind of impact in just his second game, I'm amazed. I mean, he outplayed Gasol and Ibaka together. Huge points, huge rebounds, huge defense, his passing. And, you know, my hat's off to him because I doubted he can even help this Warriors team in this series, and he's been a big contributor tonight.
Amazing. Paul, thanks so much for the time. Good to visit, man.
All right, thank you.
And, I mean, this is the graphic representation of just the minutes. Because, look, everyone had their jokes about, you know, what kind of shape could the man be in. You heard Steve Kerr mention it. They thought maybe he could give him 20. Well, 28 minutes, and Looney goes out. So Bogut comes in, and he gives you something. But a double-double and, you know, 4... Four assists shy of a triple-double, and Boogie perhaps will be joining us as we continue to discuss this series evening. We welcome in the great Doris Burke now. And Doris, look, there's so many things to look at here, and I guess I would just start with the guys that were on the floor and were asked to deliver, were able to. What does that say about the collective of this group?
I just thought the whole night was the epitome of championship mettle. When you want to understand what it looks like, it looked like tonight from the Golden State Warriors, and it was across the board. The confidence that Quinn Cook showed in knocking down shots after Klay Thompson hits that, you know, the thigh injury or the hamstring injury. Kevon Looney going down. I mean, I thought it was extraordinary across the board. And it was really, to me, I know there were some X's and O's, but to me it was about toughness and make them feel you, and defensively having the pride to say, you're not doing to us what you did the other night. Championship medal. That's what this was all about for me.
I completely agree, and I think, you know, you heard Draymond after that last game talk about what Siakam did, and he said, look, we're not going to have that. I mean, 52 in game 1, he and Gasol combined for 18. When Kerr says make them feel us, you asked him specifically about that. Doris, what do they mean? What does that mean specifically?
Well, I think first and foremost, you have to come with a level of intention, and it starts always with getting back in transition. When we asked Steph and Draymond what did not translate on film that you saw in game 1, and spot on immediately, both of them said speed. So the first thing they had to do was get back and build their defense and make them play in a half court. Then it's about intention. What are you trying to do from a tactical standpoint? What are you sending at Kawhi Leonard? How are you recovering to shooters? Just felt like a completely different team on the defensive end. And I will say this, and I heard Jeff Van Gundy talk about this, like at some point, when do you not have enough? It felt fragile tonight, Scott. I missed a good portion of this basketball game because I was constantly heading back to the locker room for one injury or another. I think in light of what they had to fight through just in the course of the game, and Steph Curry, I'm telling you the truth, he tried to sprint off the floor because he was not feeling well, and he's a consummate pro, and he came back and answered the questions, but he wasn't right all night long. So this to me was just a special win. If they walk away with this championship, they're going to remember game 2 on the road in Toronto.
Yep, because it was really, in many respects, not a work of art, but nobody cares when you're having a parade, man. Can you win 4 games? And you got to win them ugly, and they did. Doris, appreciate the time always.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. Another look at the winning play.